Arrogant classmates invited Marcus Green, the shy black kid they once dismissed as the class loser, to their 5-year reunion purely to humiliate him. As he walked in, clad in scuffed sneakers and a faded hoodie that hung loosely on his frame, a wave of cruel laughter crashed over the room. Brooks smirked with smug satisfaction, his eyes glinting with the thrill of superiority. Chase puffed up his chest, boasting about non-existent startups that masked his own gnawing insecurities. And Tyler, reveling in the spotlight, took the stage to roast Marcus mercilessly, each jab laced with venom that drew cheers from crowd. The air thickened with anticipation. They thought the punchline was inevitable, their mockery the highlight of the night. But when Marcus stepped forward, his face a mask of quiet resolve amid the storm of ridicule, the room plunged into stunned silence. The nobody they had tormented revealed a truth, so profound it shattered their arrogance, leaving them pale with regret, their smug smiles twisting into expressions of deep, choking shame. Before we dive deeper, if this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Your support fuels these heartfelt tales of triumph. Stick around to the end. Share your emotions in the comments, and pass it on to a friend who needs inspiration. Now, let's unravel the story. The invitation arrived in a crisp white envelope, buried under a stack of neglected bills in Marcus Green's modest apartment, stirring a flood of buried pain. The stiff, overly elegant handwriting evoked ghosts from his past, classmates who had made him feel like an outsider in every way. Class of 2018 reunion, you're invited. Marcus held it, his thumb tracing the fold, a knot of old hurt tightening in his chest. The venue, Rutherford Academy's banquet hall, flooded him with vivid memories. Sterile hallways lined with gleaming lockers, the sharp echo of footsteps on polished floors, and himself, a solitary black figure in a sea of white uniforms, hunched over books that served as his only armor. Teachers had praised his brilliance, his top grades a quiet rebellion, but it never silenced the whispers that cut like knives. Weird kid, too shy to survive the real world. He'll never amount to anything. Those words, once razor-sharp wounds, had dulled over time, but the scars still ached, a reminder of isolation and doubt. He set the envelope on his chipped table, temptation urging him to crumple it and forget. Yet a faint, defiant smile crept across his lips. He knew something they didn't. 5 years. Just 5 agonizing years of transformation. 5 years since he fled that school, heart-heavy with rejection, diving into endless nights hunched over a flickering laptop, ideas rejected like echoes of his past failures, coding through exhaustion that blurred his vision and tested his soul. 5 years of being underestimated, his spirit fraying but never breaking, until the world finally saw his worth. Now, Marcus wasn't the broken boy they remembered. He was the CEO of a burgeoning tech empire, his innovations valued in millions, his success a fortress built from the ruins of their disdain. But he kept it hidden, a private victory untouched by their noise. Glancing at his crooked mirror, he saw a tired but resolute man. Hoodie sleeves stretched from wear, sneakers worn from perseverance. Nothing flashy, and that anonymity ignited a spark of quiet empowerment. If they wanted to laugh, let them. Their fake smiles and hollow pride would crumble under the weight of his truth. Slipping the envelope into his pocket, Marcus drew a deep, steadying breath, his heart pounding with a mix of trepidation and resolve. This wasn't mere reunion. It was his moment of cathartic reckoning, where every stifled tear from his youth would turn their mockery to dust. Raindrops clung to his hoodie like lingering doubts as Marcus entered the Rutherford banquet hall, the chill air laced with lemon polish, evoking a surge of vulnerability. Gold balloons loomed over name tags on a cluttered table. He pinned his, Marcus Green, to the frayed fabric, the needle snagging like a metaphor for his tangled past. Heads turned subtly, a ripple of judgment spreading from the bar to the photo booth, followed by a hushed buzz laced with derision. He adjusted his cuff, thumbing the envelope crease in his pocket for reassurance, and moved through the room, each step heavy with the ghosts of old exclusions. "Yo, that's him, right?" A voice sneered from behind a pillar, dripping with condescending amusement. "Yeah, same hoodie vibe. Told you he never changed." A soft, mocking laugh followed, twisting Marcus's gut with familiar pain. "I heard he's stocking shelves somewhere. Pathetic 5 years and nothing. He pressed on, the carpet muffling his footsteps like it absorbed his rising resolve. On stage, a slideshow flickered with high school triumphs. Lacrosse heroes. Science fair wins Marcus had shunned photos for, too raw from exclusion. Tyler Voss, jaw clenched, cufflinks flashing like his forced confidence, tapped the mic. Reunited and richer. Laughter erupted, but it felt hollow, laced with insecurity. Marcus claimed a shadowed table at the back, glass of water in hand, observing like a coder scanning for bugs, quiet, analytical, his heart aching with suppressed anger. Brooke floated by, champagne flute in hand, diamonds sparkling falsely. "Marcus," she cooed, her smile cold and pitying, eyes scanning his worn clothes with disdain. "What's up, stranger? You look vintage." She vanished without waiting, leaving a sting of dismissal that echoed his high school loneliness. At the bar, Chase's car declined with humiliating beep, his throat tightening in panic as he fumbled for another, the bartender's discreet glance amplifying his embarrassment. Nearby whispers fueled the fire. Chase's app tanked again. Investors are ghosting him. Tyler rallied the mic. "Quick game! Then and now!" Photos rolled. Lawyers, Pilates studios. Marcus's slide? Blank. Guess some stories don't upload. Tyler quipped with faux sympathy, igniting laughter that clawed at Marcus's composure. He sipped water, wiping the damp ring with deliberate swipe, his chest tight with a bass drum of hurt and anticipation. Whispers circled closer. Who invited him? Tyler said it'd be hilarious, a full-circle roast. Savage, but just a joke. Brooke returned with her clique, Chase, Haley, Roman. "So, Marcus," she tilted her chin, voice dripping superiority. "What's the grind?" Still into computers. He nodded, voice steady despite the inner turmoil. "Something like that." Chase boomed, overcompensating for his own failures. "We're all building empires. Startups, exits incoming. Market's tough, though." Roman muttered about rents. Silenced by a glare, the tension palpable in Chase's frayed blazer. Awards unfolded. Best glow up. Biggest boss energy. Jokes teetering on cruelty. Tyler's grin straining as laughs lagged. Finally, he waved an envelope. Honorable mention. Most likely to still be different. "Marcus, you're it." Eyes piercing like daggers, a cough masking discomfort. The cut was deep, reopening old wounds of isolation. Marcus let the silence linger, heart racing with quiet fury, then stood with a soft chair scrape, nodding curtly. "Thanks." He sat, mercy in his refusal to engage, as gossip reignited. "Why come?" "He's our mascot." "He's too calm, creepy." He folded his napkin precisely, hands steady despite the emotional storm, waiting as the room exposed its pettiness. The evening dragged, shallow cheers masking fractures, brags pitched high with desperation, laughter edged with unease. Marcus remained anchored, a calm eye in the chaos, his soul weary but resilient. Brooke snatched a shrimp skewer carelessly. Chase's phone buzzed with a final notice that dimmed his bravado. Whispers nipped at Marcus. "Uber? Nah, hitchhiked. Those shoes, tragic." Each barb stung like fresh betrayal. But he set his glass down deliberately, meeting Tyler's gaze with unyielding poise. Tyler hyped the sponsor. None of this without their generosity. Summit gatherings. He faltered at a blank card. Anonymous, but applaud anyway. Polite claps faded as Marcus rose. Chair scrape echoing like thunder. He approached the stage unhurriedly, curiosity replacing chatter. Tyler's smile cracking with unease. Marcus paused, adjusting his sleeve, letting silence build until hearts pounded in anticipation. "I want to thank you all for coming," he said, voice low and clear, eyes sweeping the room with steady empathy. "And thanks Summit Gatherings, which is really just me." Confusion sparked, a laugh dying unborn. "Wait, what?" someone muttered. Marcus tapped his phone. The projector shifted the headlines. Green Technologies raises $40 million. Forbes covers them in suits. Undeniable success. Gasps rippled, whispers frantic. "That's him? No way, Photoshop." But facts scrolled relentlessly. His voice softened, laced with quiet vulnerability. "So when you ask what I do, something like this." The screen froze on $18 million net worth. Silence descended. Heavy, suffocating, throats tightening with regret. Marcus smiled faintly, the punchline landing like a gut punch. No one stirred. Faces froze in mid-shock, laughter's ghost haunting them. Tyler swallowed, grin crumbling into brittle defeat. Well, Chase fidgeted, Brooks' glass trembled. Whispers ignited. Is it real? Google it. Phones glowed, confirmation spreading like wildfire, disbelief turning to shame. Arrogant facades collapsed, mouth shut, eyes averted. Marcus stood centered, voice unnecessary as silence, amplified as victory. Edge whispers confessed. Why laugh? We thought he'd fail. Now he's everything we aren't. Tyler shrank, Mike lowered. Marcus edged forward, shadow long. What you called weird was vision. Failure? Patience. And your laughs built the hall I funded. Shame weighed heavy. Brooke set her glass down. Chase stared floorward. Tyler clutched useless cards. Marcus nodded. The difference isn't luck. It's belief in ourselves and others. He descended, passing stunned faces, exiting into cool night air that soothed his aching heart. No stops, no dares. Their mockery now mirrored their flaws. Marcus emerged head high, insults erased, victory sweet in its quiet grace. If you were mocked like him, would you reveal or retreat? Comment below. Subscribe for more stories flipping arrogance on its head.